Uganda is a signatory to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Paris Agreement that requires her by no default to provide the necessary information to track progress towards reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Aware that Uganda's willingness to abide by these international protocols is belittled by, among others, weak coordination framework and institutional arrangements, inadequate institutional and technical capacity at the national level to collect and manage greenhouse gas data, weaknesses in accessing greenhouse gas data and tools for managing it, both government and non-state institutions involved in greenhouse gas emissions underwent a successful capacity building program between 2019 to 2022.
As Uganda, we pledged to reduce emissions by 28.4%. So, and one of the sectors that are doing that is agriculture. So with GBIT support, we are able to report on time, and we have to have the exact data to report about.
On behalf of Conservation International.
Through the Conservation International, Uganda has for the second time received funds worth $1.5 million to consolidate the gains of the first phase, but also scale up capacities of frontline staff from the 10 government and non-state institutions responsible for collecting and managing greenhouse gas data.
This is not a new project. It is a runner-up to a previous project which we implemented. And we did that with success, overwhelming success. And because of that, we have a challenge. When you overperform, people measure you according to that level. And therefore, this project must succeed beyond the expectation.
The second phase will focus on 4 components, which are building institutional capacity for a more robust and resilient national greenhouse gas inventory system, seek to enhance technical capacity, enabling stakeholders to collect and analyze data with at least 40% female participation, facilitate knowledge sharing across transparency initiatives, ensuring collaboration and alignment with regional and global efforts, and emphasize a gender-sensitive monitoring and evaluation framework, which is Uganda's priority and commitment to inclusive climate action.
So this project, it's going to strengthen the capacity of the users, the ministries, all the stakeholders to be able to handle the crisis of climate change.
Because the other challenge has been from the civil society. We don't have that capacity yet. It has been more of the government and the research agencies. But now that this project comes in at this phase, it will be much easier now for civil society that are involved, say in carbon market mechanisms, to be able to, pick all this data, report properly.
Environmental experts are optimistic that such interventions will go a long way in increasing Uganda's bargaining power, especially for adaptation action.
When we have more data, then it gives us closer to accuracy. And why is it important to be accurate? When we are accurate, it increases even our negotiation for funding, for support of adaptation action, for support of mitigation action. So improved data is important for decision making and also support.
One of the criteria for leveraging climate financing is having an enabling environment in terms of policy and institutions. So if you find there is this lack of information about the country in terms of how it's progressing with its nationally determined contributions implementation, it will definitely affect whether donors would want to invest in that country or not.
During the project launch, the Commissioner for Climate Change at the Ministry of Water and Environment, Margaret Atieno Mwebesa, was represented by Francis Opolot.
Uganda stands ready to leverage this international platform to champion our priorities, particularly the transparency requirements set forth by the Paris Agreement.
The project is scheduled to last at least 4 years. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.